Hey y'all, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Erica. If this is your first time seeing me. So I turned around and I'm just like, you run up, I'm gonna slide you. That started some bull crap. Like grabbed her by her hair, like girl, I was like Tarzan. She damn near was about to hop on the shelf with the cereal the way she was trying to like duck down and shit on the side of the dude she was walking with.
Your Cuban link off flower set just like a dandelion. You fell in love with me in my set like it was Valentine. Said if you bust yours, you know I'm blasting mine.
Today, by the title, you already know what this video is. At first, I was gonna do like a think piece off of stuff I seen on Twitter. We could laugh about it, talk about it, or whatever. But so much time has passed by since I screenshot all that stuff, so I was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and do a mini like story times in this video while I paint. Some ghetto stuff, some funny stuff. Let's get straight into the video. My stuff prepared. For right now, I'm only using two main colors. Y'all can't even see that. Alright, what we gonna get into first? The first story time I wanted to do was about when I almost fought my coworker. Now this was a couple years ago, probably like 2016. Yeah, about 2016, something like that. This particular coworker, she would always call out to work, or she, in my opinion, would like use her kids as an excuse for her not to come or for her to leave or whatever. Like, just for example, it was one incident. Now don't get me wrong, like kids really be doing some out of pocket stuff, and you know what I'm saying, they be tripping out. But it used to be like real wild stuff. Like one of her kids used to, or an instance, stabbed herself in the eye, herself, whatever. I don't know which one or what it was, but two was going to stab herself in the eye. One of them destroyed a computer, and she had to go to meetings and things like that. But she was like, she was supposed to come back to work, never did, or just whatever. Like it was just always something. So this particular situation, we were getting ready to go on our little, we didn't necessarily have like a Christmas break, but we were off on weekends, and we had the privilege of being off on Christmas too with the job I did. So we were about to go on our little day break, a couple days of our break. My manager, she took us out to eat. I can't even remember where. I think we went to Copeland. I don't know. We went out to eat. And as we were sitting there eating and stuff, and she was like, you know, when we come back, it was going to be a lot of, I forgot the term. It's been so long since I worked there. But basically, like price drops. It was going to be a lot of price changes and stuff like that. And it was my job. Well, it wasn't my job technically. But it was an older lady. And the girl I'm referring to, it was technically like their jobs to handle the price changes and stuff, which it basically just would be printing out new labels throughout the whole store and just changing the labels. So when my manager mentioned that, the girl was like, yeah, I'm not coming into work that day. And I remember she said that. I remember she said she wasn't coming into work. So our little days go past, we get to work, no her, she ain't there. So I got stuck with what she was supposed to be doing. I really wasn't tripping as far as the job, because bro, all I was doing was printing labels and like going around the store and doing the whole store. It was the fact that I knew like you know what I'm saying, like I knew why your reason why you called off was because you didn't want to do the job. That was most of my issue. Wasn't the job itself, it's because I knew you was gonna call off and I got stuck doing your job. So I already, and see, I wouldn't necessarily say I was a hothead back then, but certain things I didn't let slide. I had it on my mind already. I'm like, when we get to work tomorrow, I'm gonna tell her about herself, because you know what I'm saying, like that's not cool. I could see if something was really going on or whatever like that. The next day come, we have our little morning meeting and stuff like that, and then she goes in the break room, so I go back there too. And I'm like, so problematic. So I was like, why you didn't come to work yesterday? You know, what was going on with you? She started saying something about something, I don't even remember what it was, but she said something about her kids. It was something was going on with one of her kids. And I just told y'all she used to use that as an excuse why she didn't come to work every time. So I already knew I'm not believing what you're saying. I don't even remember if I told her something like, like next time make sure you come to work because I got stuck with your job or whatever. It was like, I don't even know. I don't remember. All I remember was she went to talking back and moving her head and her hands like this, and we're not gonna do that. So I said what I said and I started walking out. At the same time, she following behind me, like talking and acting all aggressive, and one of the other girls started like grabbing at her to like, I guess, like get her from coming towards me. So I turned around and I'm just like, you run up, I'm gonna slide you.
What, you wanna fight?
If you get in my face one more time, I'ma slide your ass. Okay.
That's it. We both gonna be out of a job. She put on her little show or whatever like that. I think eventually my manager came, or she ended up telling my manager what was going on or whatever. My manager came talking to me and she was like, you can't go and ask people why they didn't come to work, this, that, and the third. And she knew what was going on as far as why I did what I did. But you know how you be like, well, why she ain't been gone if you know the type of games that she be playing and stuff like that. But you really gotta have like reasons. And if she come, it was like a system to where if she come to work and she leave, you technically don't get written up or whatever like that. And then if you had time to back up the hours that you missed, and then you was straight. At the same time, my manager gave us a lot of chances. I can't even say, why she didn't. Well, that was the reason why she hadn't been gone. But, she was like, we basically can't go and ask people why they didn't come to work. And this, that, and the third, whatever. And for a long time, me and that girl did not talk. I worked at that company for, almost 2 years. It was like a year. It was basically 2 years. I worked there, and for a long time me and her didn't talk. It was like I felt the way, because not necessarily felt the way, but it was like, bro, girl was 28 at the time. I don't even think I was 21 yet. So it's like, what, who you think you're playing with? I would have my sister come in here, but me and girl I was probably taller than her. I would have just punched on top of her head and sent her on our way. Yeah, like it was so many other story times I could go over. That lady, because she was 28 at the time, was very, 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 very messy. But yeah, that's the time I almost fought a co-worker. So with this next story time, we're going to talk about how me and my sister fought at a graduation. I'm going to have video clips along with this one. Not the fight, but like just take y'all through that day a little bit. So, we was running around like chickens that day because we was trying to get gifts for people. Or we had to get nails done. I want to say I think I got my nails done that same day. Or it was either that same day or the day before. But I think the graduation started at like 3 o'clock. We were running around doing all that. Finally get there. We had to run back to the car twice. The walk from where we parked at to where the graduation was held at was maybe a good 5 to 10 minute walk from the car to where the graduation was being held. And so we finally make it to the front door. They was already giving us a hard time with the balloons. They was telling my sister she couldn't bring the balloons in for somebody. So somebody ended up holding them in another room until it was finished. They told me I couldn't get in. My sister was a part of SGA, if y'all know what that is, in college or whatever. She was a part of that, so she had the clearance to get into the graduation. I didn't. So I sat outside for a little while, and then I went back to the car. But like after it was finished, somebody, I think it was, I don't know if it was a particular person or if it was like all the, what they call them? Girl, what them people call on the, I don't know, like the alphas, the fraternity stuff. But I don't know if it was a couple of them that was graduating and then they threw the party, or if it was just like one particular person, like people threw the party, whatever. But it was basically for alpha. Anyway, it was a party going on. So me and my sister, we went. We having a good old time. We having our drinks and everything. Having fun. And at the end of it, like other people that was there were talking about where they were going at once it was over with. And the club that they chose, you had to be 25 to get in. And I wasn't 25 yet, so it was a no-go for me. So my sister went and she went talk to one of her friends, which she had been knowing this dude for like, I don't know, like since 2011. And this particular party was in 2017. So that was a good amount, like 6 or 7 years or whatever, that she had been knowing him. So she went asked him, like, why y'all don't choose a different spot so my sister could come. And he was like, it's not me that like chose it. It's somebody else. Like whoever the party was for, I guess that's the location they chose. So at the same time, my sister like took his hair because he had long dreads. She took his hair from, I guess, one side like over his shoulder and threw it over his back or whatever like that. And it was a girl sitting next to him, and she basically took his hair and put it back to where it was at. So my sister, she basically took his hair and put it back where it was at. And that started some bull crap, because once she did that, they kind of like made eye contact or whatever, and I believe they started passing words. But I was just so into watching what was going on, because I had a feeling that a fight was gonna break out. But girl stood up. Like when she stood up, I started moving around the table. And when she stood up, she threw a drink at my sister. And it wasn't no water, wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was alcohol, so it was burning. I wasn't thinking like that though when she initially threw the drink. When I saw the drink being thrown, and I think I seen my sister like back up to wipe her face or whatever, I just immediately jumped on the girl, grabbed her by her hair, like, girl, I was like Tarzan. Grabbed her by her hair and just went the wop, wop, wop. It was a lot. I think that same dude that we was like talking to and stuff and trying to figure out what was going on with the location, I think he ended up hitting me too. But I know for sure my sister was hitting him, because she just started wiping her face and immediately started to like swing or whatever. So when she grabbed his dress, she thinking that was the girl hair, because the girl had braids. So she went to beating him up. I remember I got like knocked up against the wall, and I remember somebody, which I believe was him, hit me in my jaw. I shook that off though, because I'm like, I can't feel nothing right now. Like, I can't afford to feel nothing right now. I know at one point she was on the ground, and cause I be blacking out. So when I was coming to, I remember hearing, stop kicking that girl, you got heels on, or something like that. And that made me flash out even more so, because I'm like, oh, you got heels on when you trying to kick me. I mean, I know you fighting for your life and all, but you trying to hurt me for real. I remember I hit her a couple more times, and then I think they broke it up, or I stopped or whatever. My sister was so mad. She didn't want to hear nothing. She wanted to fight again and everything. Like, she even called herself trying to click out on me a little bit, but I ain't do you nothing. Yeah, it was about to get real serious, because when we was talking about the dude called himself hitting us and stuff like that, we like, bro, you just don't know. It wouldn't be cute. Like, we had to sit there and analyze and be like, you know what, like, my sister hauled down railing on him, so he probably thought he was getting jumped. But that fight was funny. Like, it took my sister a while to calm down. Me and her still talk about that till this day, because it's like, bro, we felt like it was his fault a little bit, because if this supposed to be somebody that you came with, like your lady friend or whatever, your girlfriend, that you messing around with this girl and stuff like that, it was your duty as a man to introduce us, because we didn't know that. Me personally, I didn't see the girl sitting there, and if I did see her, it was more so she just was there, because I didn't see them interacting or nothing. Like, I didn't see her. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking she just a regular guest. Like, it was no indication to me that they was there together. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, it was no indication that they was there together. So it was his duty to properly introduce somebody, especially, or even to stop it. When my sister moved his health away, knowing that you was here with somebody, you should have.
Huh? What? What you doing? You can hear me? Yeah. Hey, stop.
Cut that short right then and there. I'm pretty sure my sister would have got the hint, like, okay, maybe, or even if she didn't know why he was doing that, she would have got the hint, like, okay, well, let me back off, because it seemed like he had a lot of attitude or something. Like, that's probably how she would have took it, because he still, like I said, he didn't introduce us to this girl. Yeah, that was that fight. But yeah, to this day, I couldn't tell you how a girl looked. All I know is she had braids. That's it. I can't tell you if she was dark skinned, light skinned. She probably was I don't know. Because I was about to say she might have been my color, but she might have been lighter than that. I said I probably wouldn't ever really talk about this situation, but I'm over it at this point. And it was funny how, like, everything played out. Back at home, it was this program, like a school, that offered you to, like, skip a grade or whatever like that if you were 2 grades behind or more. I got accepted into that program, and that's where I met my best friend. From that, and that was in like 2009, maybe like 2000, yeah, probably like 2009, something like that. The way her mama grew her up, it was always, I could go over there by them, but she could never really come by my house and stuff like that. I didn't look at it no type of way, because I used to be trying to escape my house. I didn't have a problem with it. As we got older and stuff, and, we started working and everything like that, I wouldn't even say like our best friendship changed, because every time we linked up, it was still the same thing. Sometimes we'll go a while without seeing each other. Basically, that just give y'all a little dynamic. That been my best friend. That was my best friend at the time for like 10 years. At one point, I really forgot like the total reason why, but she didn't have nowhere to stay. I didn't even ask my mama, like, could she come stay there, whatever. I just was like, hey, I got a room in the bed, you got a room in the bed. And that's what it was. Like, that's what it was. But then, like, I'm summing it up a lot, but basically that go to show you what type of friend I was to her. And then I eventually like left my mama's house, and she couldn't come with me because I barely knew where I was about to be staying at. We went our separate ways, and I eventually got an apartment with my sister. My sister was going on vacation, and the other person we were staying with, I really wasn't like, we wasn't the coolest, so I didn't want to just be in a house stuck with somebody that, I'm like barely talking to and stuff like that. Just so happened, me and my best friend, we were talking. I hit her up to ask her if she wanted to, come over while my sister was away and stuff like that. My sister was going to be gone for a week, and she left me her call. You know what I'm saying? I was like, did you want to come over and basically keep me company? Probably like a couple days into her being there, that's when she told me it was a situation where, her ex-boyfriend tried to, like, he basically came looking for her at her mom's house, and, a whole lot of, like, violence with guns and stuff like that supposed to been and happen. I ain't gonna say a whole bunch, but I mean, my mama was there and you aimed it at my mama, like, type stuff. Like, that's how she brought it to me. So, of course, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have nowhere to stay again, like, especially at that time, I was paying bills where I was at. So, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You definitely have somewhere to stay if I got somewhere to stay. So that's what it was. Me and her would be in my room all the time. Even to a point where me and my sister fell out because, I felt like it was some wrongdoings going on. And I'm all for what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I felt like what my sister was doing was wrong. So, like me and my sister fell out behind her, everything. I remember it was a couple times. I don't be watching nobody pockets and that like that, but I feel like in that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm taking up for you. I'm going against my sister for you. I'm giving you somewhere to stay. This is that and the third. I'm encouraging you to do certain things to get on your feet and everything. And like the one time I really asked you for help, you can't do it, or you won't do it. You know what I'm saying? So like that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I just, I didn't too much worry about it. And then it was another time I was about to be late on my rent, and I had already took out a loan, I believe, and I was like paying back the loan and everything. So I couldn't even, I couldn't get another one, and I needed like $80. Mind you, she was working 2 jobs at the time. The only bill she had to pay for was her phone bill and her portion of the cable bill and like the light bill, whatever, and that was split between her and 2 other people. So she was only paying maybe like all expenses like $200. And then like it got to a point where she would leave, be by her guy friends and stuff, and it'll be for days, and I wouldn't really trip on that because I mean you grown. That particular day I asked her for the $80 or at least some of it or whatever. She didn't respond back to me. Like I had texted her while I was at work. Now I get off. I used to go to work for, I don't know what time I text her, but I used to go to work for 5 in the morning and get off at 2. So for hours you didn't text me back. I get home and you like cleaning out the closet and stuff, making it straight or whatever, but you also packing a bag because you about to go somewhere. Oh, and mind you, it was hours had we passed before we even said something to each other in the house. So she left, and maybe like 10 minutes after she left, that's when she texted me and was like, oh, if she asked me if I still needed the money, and I think I told her no, like, don't even worry about it, because you just sat in my face for 4 hours. Rollo, really? And didn't say nothing to me, like literally cleaning out the closet and everything, and didn't say nothing to me, and you wait until you leave to want to ask me something like that. So I was just like, no, like don't even worry about it. Yeah, so the next day I got home from work, I go upstairs and I notice, all her stuff is gone. Like all her stuff is gone out the closet, her little perfumes, whatever she brought in there, all of it was gone. And I think I ended up texting her or calling her, and she didn't answer. And I think I sent her a long text message too. Like I sent her a long message, like just basically saying how that was messed up. And if you wanted to leave, you really could have just left. Like you didn't have, you wasn't on a lease or nothing like that. I wasn't making you feel like, you know what I'm saying, you had to leave like that or nothing like that. Like we didn't have no fussing, no nothing like that for her to just, you know what I'm saying, leave the way she did. My sister, she really wanted to fight. Like that gave her because me and my sister had got back cool by this point. But that gave her the ignition to, like, you know what I'm saying, say what she wanted to say to her. So I want to say like that next day, me and my sister went to Walmart to make groceries. And who do we see across the aisle from the, like, by the, how in Walmart they have the freezer section, and then like right across, that's where you will see the cereals and stuff like that. So it was like right in that section between the meats and the cereal. She saw us before we saw her. So she started, like, she damn near was about to hop on the shelf with the cereal, the way she was trying to like duck down and shit on the side of the dude she was walking with. We ended up going down the aisle where she was at, and then like she hurried up and turned off, but we saw her at the end, and we like, what's up? Oh, I said her name. I think my sister said we've been calling you or whatever. We been trying to call, and she was like, oh, my phone off. Like, really? That's the excuse you're going with. Your phone off. Me personally, I'm not gonna sit up there and try to fight you or nothing like that. One, you wasn't on a lease, so it ain't like what you was contributing and hurt my pockets because I had to pay that either way you was here or not. So that was that. And then by us being friends for so long, I can't just jump on you down your throat and do something like that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just at this point, it is what it is. Like, we'll just never be able to be friends again. But what pissed me off with her was because you get on social media and you start, like, you hanging out with your family and stuff, but you posting, you saying, why I need friends when I got family or whatever like that. And it's like, where your family was at when you was staying at my house 2 times. Don't go and be trying to create no narrative that ain't that. Yeah. Probably like a year or 2 had passed and I posted something on Twitter not related to that. It was just, I don't even know what the topic was, but I remember she commented on it and I just ignored her because I'm like, that, for one, that ain't how you come back and try to come back into my life or whatever. The other half is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fake. So, might cut this video short. We're gonna pick up this StoryTime / paint section on a later date. I'm gonna have some more mini story times in here. But right now, we just gonna do this as a part 1 because I gotta go shower, take this makeup off and stuff, and get ready for bed. I may pick up on it tomorrow or when I'm off again. But I hope y'all enjoyed this part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Turn your post notifications on. Make sure y'all subscribe. Like if you like this video. Leave a comment if you want to. And I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Bye.
Your Cuban link off flower set just like a dandelion. You fell in love with me in my set like it was Valentine. Said if you bust yours, you know I'm blasting mine.